those bottles, those Maguire's bottles I've had for ages.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had them for absolutely ages. Cleanyourcar.com was where I got all this all the Maguire's bottles from.
That's what I tended to buy all my stuff because of cleanyourcar.co.uk. Yeah, we're based out in Huddersfield, aren't we?
Oh, okay. They were the first online retailer that I ever bought stuff from, like
me too.
Years ago.
Yeah.
Well, first it was Halfords, and then when I got into detailing when I was like 21 years old, so like 9 years ago. I'll say 9 years ago. I don't know when I started using Clean Your Car. It's probably when I started business. I started using Clean Your Car. Used them for 3 years, but then Slims have got the trade account, so I just went for Slims for the trade account. I don't buy much from Clean Your Car anymore. If they have a trade account, then it does. I don't.
So Slims do a trade account then, do they? Yeah.
Yes, you have to be in the business full time and spend £1,000 a year with them.
Right.
And they'll give you a trade account. You just get 15% off everything apart from machinery or equipment.
Yeah.
Which is a bit annoying. Because I mean, the repairs polishers, I bought one recently. I was expecting to get a 15% discount, but as it turns out, they don't give you a discount for that. That would save me 60 odd quid. Yeah. Any more than that, 80 quid. That nice.
Well, how much do you spend on stock then, Joe?
In the last 3 years, I've spent I've spent over £7,000 with Slims in 3 years.
Yeah.
I looked it up not long ago. It's got every single, well, probably 95% of my orders, which were done online on my account.
Yeah.
So then I spent a lot more with other companies, eBay, other companies. Yeah, I bought quite a bit off eBay in the past. I'm quite an eBay addict, and got lots of eBay, the odd bit here and there. So did you want to go through machine polishing today? We should have time.
Yeah, should have time, sure, yeah, definitely. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see the impact it could make, you know, on
we could do 50% of the bonnet.
Yeah.
If you wanted.
Yeah.
So did you want to do the door?
Let's see what it's on. Yeah, tell you what, I suppose just do the size, won't it?
Yeah, so. Oh, that wing as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, now that we've done the other decontamination stages, this clay bar, I mean, the Dermot isn't that bad.
Yeah.
To be fair, it's not exactly as if it's got loads of tree sap on or other nasties.
Yeah.
Not really too bad.
Culture. So I thought, okay, I'll grab a coffee and I'll put some air in.
£1.
£1.
Yeah. Used to be 20p back in the day.
I was going to say it was 20 pence and they have to buy us in most garages, but you know, service stations end up having to pay through the nose. Actually, Joe, I know it's not keeping, but I'll do a very quick whiz job on this place. I'll go home for you. feeling, I'll drive home feeling I'm only half done, so to speak.
I think the real difference you can make on this car is going to be through polishing it.
Yeah.
Definitely. Lots of swirl marks, faded. I just dried that part.
Awesome.
He's doing it.
So is this the door you did before? Oh, sorry.
No, I haven't done the door. I only did the roof. Toilet to make a quick phone call. Missed call a minute ago. Yeah, the wheels off detail is it's an additional service. So I mean it can be thrown in with any service. To be fair, taking the wheels off. Okay, where are you based? London. Okay, so I'm Stafford. I'm like central UK. Yeah, quite a distance away. Do you have a garage that I can work in? Like a garage on your house? Do you have somewhere indoors? Or would it be like on the drive? Okay, I mean the only thing that I'm thinking is, because it's going to take me three hours travel to you, 3 hours back. That's like 6 hours in travel that I'm going to have to make sure my expenses are covered for, and then the cost of the job itself. So I'm just wondering whether or not I'd even be able to offer you a cost-effective service instead of you just getting something that's more local to you. Yeah, that's the only thing that I'm thinking. It's a shame if you were closer, then obviously it would be good for you. Cool. Alright mate, cheers. Thank you. Bye. He's from London.
The L job.
See me on YouTube, and he says, "Oh, are you the guy who just did the red Range Rover and the blue car?" And I was like, "No, that's car cleaning guru from Liverpool." He's even further up north. I was like, "Oh, right, okay." But then he says that he has seen some of my videos, and he was like, "Yeah, wanted me to go to London."
There's a lot of that show, isn't it? An inconvenience to.
350 quid for a day's work down in London. I'll do it. But he said, He's got family in Birmingham, so what would the price be in Birmingham? I says 250 for the day's work in Brunt. He said just 40 minutes down the road.
It's good to see. It's about the way, aren't they?
Yeah, he seemed, I don't know, he says he'll get back into it, seemed promising.
What job's that for then, Joe?
Audi S5.
Yeah.
S5, wheels off.
Yeah.
Spring refresh details, so entry level detail and service. And a interior tickle.
Yeah.
So just a day's work pretty much. Day's work. Nice, I like S5s.
Yeah, they are a nice car.
Yeah, I do like S5s. The RS5 is even better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, so yeah, the car's now decontaminated, it's clean, it's dry.
Yeah.
We'd be moving on to polishing. So machine polishing versus hand polishing.
Because for me, right now, Joe, in terms of getting on with the use of tools, I'll be more used to, more inclined at the stage I'm at to be hand polishing.
Yeah.
However, it wouldn't hurt just to see what you just do a section,
Yeah.
for future reference, and then just keep on watching your YouTube videos and who's not to say as we'll come back down, you know, for another day
For even group session, perhaps.
Yeah.
So then you don't have to spend.
That's a point, yeah.
You just spend 50 quid for a group session. They're mainly going to be focused on paint correction. And ceramic coatings, but I'm just going to be doing like one group section every now and then whenever I feel like I'm ready to do it.
Yeah.
Just because there hasn't been much interest in the group session, so for me to have one every month is just ridiculous because it's going to leave me earning 50 quid for a day's work with one person turning up.
Yeah.
Which I've got a feeling will be the case for the one in July, this month or next month. So yeah, that's a bit of a bummer. Where can I put you? Camera, you don't even go on there. No! I broke my tripod not long ago. So I'm having to use this stupid thing. Absolute rubbish Gorilla Pod.
Wrap around the way they ought to, then Joe will take it.
Pardon?
They don't wrap around the way they ought to with Gorilla Pods.
Nope. No. I just know for a fact it's going to fall off one of these things at some point. We can let's have a get machine polishing.
Yeah.
Show you what the machines are capable of. Yeah, this is a beast of a machine. Reapers, big butts.
I noticed that I was looking at them show the make and then went online. Proper screens. Are they based on a recommendation or?
Best machines in the industry.
Right.
Reapers, best machines. If you go in the dual action route, obviously you've got dual action versus rotary.
What's that mean? Just
rotary spins on one axis, so it's just constantly going around in circles. Whereas this, like, spins.
Right. Okay.
And that way.
That way. Right. I'm with you.
So a rotary is fixed rotation. But this
And that kind of oscillates. Yeah.
like that. And then does that. So these don't build up as much heat on the paintwork.
Yeah.
Also rotaries, if you say you put your pad on, like if you do that with a rotary, it will be spinning at full velocity, and obviously with the pad being flat against the surface, it's distributing the heat across this entire section.
Yeah.
When you tilt it like that, it's building up heat on this one part. Well, one part on there.
Yeah.
So then you can potentially just burn it through the paintwork pretty quickly. Rotaries are known for being a lot safer. They are safer.
Yeah.
A lot easier to use, more user friendly. You can still mess up using a DA. I've had an incident with a DA before, so they're not exactly, you can't use them without any common sense or concentration. But I mean, the issue that I had was an issue with the car. It wasn't anyone that had done what I did to the car. It would have happened to anyone. It was a dodgy painted spoiler with ridiculously soft and thin paint. It was a finishing stage and literally went over it. I think the pads may have just gone in a little bit heavy. Even so, nothing major. And then it just been in the paint. I was like, well, what on earth is going on here? Charged 140 quid for the job, and the respray company charged 140 quid to fix it. So, yeah. I mean, you say live and learn, but you can't learn from something that
you couldn't see, you know.
There's anyone, whoever detailed it was going to make that mistake. So, Repairs, Italian company, they make awesome machines. This is a Mark II version.
Yeah.
What do they cost? 300 quid. So, real good machines, sturdy, best in the industry. Definitely recommend if you're going to be doing this business to get one of these.
Get one of those, yeah.
It's a primary tool for doing obviously paint correction, knocking down these swirls, scratches. Yeah. If that's going to be your objective, you're going to want to use a decent tool to help you get there.
Yeah.
That's what these are. Rotary is quite old-fashioned, I think. They enable you to cut the paintwork quicker because they're more brute force. I've used a rotary once, so it's not something that I intend to try and adapt to because there's no need. These machines are good.
Yeah.
So just a nice little bit of compounds.
Yeah.
With Repairs, you've got the different compounds. So there's green, which is a medium compound.
Yeah.
You've then got blue, which is a heavy compound. Yellow is a polish, so it's a fine finishing polish, and then white is the ultra fine finishing polish. So obviously you've got the difference there between a compound versus a polish.
Yeah.
A compound is obviously to compound the paintwork, which they contain abrasives in.
Yeah.
So they're going to help level out the clear coat essentially to remove the defects. And the polish is then going to be, it's going to polish the paintwork, it's going to make it shiny.
Yeah.
So compound first, then polish. There's nothing stopping you saying, let's give the car a single stage machine polish. It's going to work a lot better than doing it by hand.
Yeah.
You imagine, it's man versus machine. Machine is always going to win.
Yeah.
In terms of something that requires effort and force and friction to get a good finish. Single stage machine polish for this entire car, you're going to remove some of these defects, but generally you're going to get the car nice and shiny.
Yeah.
And it's going to be shinier than what you're capable of doing it by hand within a realistic time frame.
Timeless frame.
Yeah. So German paint is generally on the harder side.
Yeah.
So it takes a little bit more to cut back the defects. Softer paintwork, you just want to go in a little bit more delicately. But now that the car is decontaminated, our first step is to see how the compound is going to react, see what it's going to take to remove these defects.
Yeah.
And me going from past experience, I know it's German paint, it's going to need green compound and a microfiber cutting disc to make a real impact. Softer paint, then you'd probably, you'd be altering your method of attack. But to start off with, you just want to do a small section on the bonnet, see how the paint reacts.
Yeah.
And then take it from there, really. I'll just do a bit in the middle. So apply those 4 small blobs to the pad.
Mm-hmm.
Speed setting 3, just to spread the product. Just gets the product evenly spread out over the surface. Bang up to speed setting 6. And essentially, the slower you go, the more defects you're going to remove.
Okay.
It's going to take quite a lot of I mean, it's going to take quite a bit of passes over this because they look pretty deep. But yeah, this is time consuming paint correction.
I understand, yeah.
Very time consuming. Yeah, not quite as time consuming as I thought it was going to be. I thought from the off that was going to take ages, but I've made it to what looks like an impact pretty quickly. Yeah, these machine polishers, if you haven't had any previous experience with them, then they do take just a little bit of getting used to.
Yeah.
Just to get the feel for it. But once you've done your first car, after that, you're on to the winner.
Yeah.
But I can already see that. Yeah, obviously, if you look into the light, you'll be able to see a lot of the swirl marks have disappeared.
Yeah.
You do want to use IPA, an alcohol wipe, at this point to IPA the paintwork down. It's going to remove any polish oils or residue that could potentially be filling in any minor defects.
Yeah.
But I mean, with the cutting stage, you can see that's making a big difference.
Yeah.
You need to do the rest of the car, and that's going to take you 20 hours, 10 hours or whatever.
Yeah.
There's no point IPAing that down when you've got the rest of the car.
The rest of the car to do.
Yeah, so you may as well just crack on and do the rest of the car. But the difference that's going to make, that's after a cutting stage, that still needs to be polished on top of that.
Yeah.
So the difference that's going to make to the entire car is just going to be absolutely massive. It's just quite a time-consuming. It's the most time-consuming process of detailing, paint correction. But when it's done properly, the results are just remarkable.
Yeah.
If that's what you're into.
And so that's the machine you'd recommend, that comes with its own products?
Yes. Yeah, definitely. There's no point skimping out on what could potentially be your most important tool.
Yeah.
There's lots of cheaper alternatives. The Meguiar's MT350, and it's an enthusiast machine.
Yeah.
The Auto Finesse one, it's enthusiast. Repair's Bigfoot, it's professional.
Yeah. And these polishing coats, is that a particular stage polishing pad, or are they all standard?
Standard to me.
Yeah.
But no, not necessarily standard. That's almost aftermarket.
Because they're different heads for different stages of the polishing process.
Yeah. So cutting, I use microfiber cutting pads.
Yeah.
Because they're real good. They are. That one's quite old, to be fair. That's the real one.
Yeah.
So the Repairs pads, which I don't currently have, they do a green pad to go with the green polish.
This here.
I'll get the other ones as well. So we've got the whole trio to go through. So you've got blue, coarse, that's quite gritty, that's capable of removing sanding marks of about 1,000 grit.
Yeah.
This one's capable of removing sanding marks of about 2,500 grit.
So there's a kind of almost like a progressive level, dark, slightly dark, lighter.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I mean it goes heavy, medium, fine, ultra fine.
Fine. Okay. Fine.
Ultra fine. Blue, green, yellow, white. You would then use these in conjunction with the type of service that you're doing to the car and the hardness of the paintwork.
Yeah.
So, I mean, typically the most common treatment with detailing paint correction is a two-stage, so cut and polish.
Yeah.
You'd more hard paintworks, you'd be going with green to cut and a microfiber cutting pad. You'd be going with yellow and a white pad to finish.
Yeah.
Soft paintwork, so Japanese cars, you'd be going with. You wouldn't necessarily use a compound.
Yeah.
because you've got the cutting pad there that's going to provide you with the abrasive cut.
Yeah.
If you go in with green, you then have to follow up with yellow and one of these yellow pads to rectify the marring that's been caused by this compound, because I've just got small abrasives in there.
Yeah.
When they're swirled around in the paintwork, you'll be able to see them. So they need restoring with the yellow and yellow.
Yeah.
And then you need to gloss the car back up with white and white, so then it's turned into a 3-stage.
Yeah.
So obviously, if you're only going to be doing a 2-stage, if you're being paid to do a 2-stage, you need to do a 2-stage. I've been there in the past. I've done minor paint corrections. I've gone in too heavy. Haven't been able to fully refine, so I've had to do a 3rd stage.
Go up to the next grade.
With tricky paintworks. Focus RS, jet black, very tricky. That took 4 stages of machine polishing. And it was only meant to come in for 2. Lesson learned, I guess. But yeah, that's all about getting to know the different types of paintworks, getting yourself a bit of experience on working with these different cars.
Yeah.
You'll soon pick up that there's a method in the madness. German paintwork, most of the time, you'll be going in with green and a cutting pad because you need a bit of a cut there to remove the defects. You'll then be refining with yellow and the white pad. If you were to refine with the yellow and the yellow, you will generally find that even the yellow leaves haze in most paintworks. Even harder paintworks, it leaves too much haze. So that's why you can mix and match these compounds. The original pads that Repairs they make a blue pad, which is, again, it's a heavy coarse pad for the machine. They make a green pad, medium, and they're foam. So these foam pads, they fling bits of foam everywhere, which is abrasive in themselves because they're sharp bits of foam. So they fling them all over the car. Because they've got no real density to them, because it's foam sort of honeycomb type thing, you just find that the products splatter and the dust goes out everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's not working effectively. It creates so much of a mess. The pads don't last for 20 minutes. They're terrible, absolutely terrible pads. So that's why the majority of detailers that you'll see online, they'll be using microfiber cutting pads because they last a long time, they don't create a whole load of mess, and they cut the paintwork effectively.
Yeah.
They do build up more heat, so that is something to be careful of.
Yeah.
But I wish I moved on to microfiber cutting pads a lot sooner. I used the Repairs green and blue for probably the best part of 12 months since being in the unit. No, not that, maybe 10 months. 10 months it took me to realise that these pads there's better alternatives.
That's what it is.
So definitely Flexi pads, 5-inch pad which is black.
Yeah.
And then to adjust the abrasive level of it, the level of cut required for the car, you just simply pick and choose a polish.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, soft paintworks. So I mean the Subaru that I did, the Focus could have done with it. If I was to do, probably even some Fords as well. Some Fords, those paintworks can be around the medium. You'd be really looking towards using, instead of a green compound, you'd be looking to use a fine polish with that pad, and then do it for the first cutting stage, and then using the white ultra fine and the white pad for the finishing stage. Because you do, when you cut paintwork, you leave uniform swirl marks in the paintwork from the abrasives. So obviously you need a certain level of cut to remove these types of defects in the paint.
Yeah.
But you don't want to go too crazy because you could remove more than what you're capable of them refining.
I see what you mean, yeah.
If we were to do this entire bonnet, IPA it down, close the shutter doors, turn these lights off and just use one light and focus on that one light, this green combination is going to leave, like, you'll be able to see where the machine polisher has been.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to see haze. In fact, we'll do it. We'll do half of the bonnet or something. then obviously the objective then is to polish the paintwork to bring it back up to 100%, or not 100%, but you want it good. You don't want haze in there, you don't want the holograms. So the key really is to find that combination of cut and polish to get the results that you want, and using the right stuff without leaving crap in the paintwork.
It's labour intensive, Joe, isn't it?
There's a lot to it.
Yeah.
There is a lot to it, there is a lot, but it's practice at the end of the day. You need to get a few cars under your belt, and then it becomes, when you do it as a job, it'll just become second nature.
Second nature.
You'll get used to, you'll have your own method, I guess.
Yeah.
They're good machines. You got a car, you can take it from, I mean, swirls and paintwork, they hide the vehicle's true finish. It's not allowing the light to reflect directly off the paint, it's being messed around by all the swirl marks. As a detailer, that just, I look at a car and it's like, oh, has it got swirl marks? No, it hasn't got swirl marks. Blooming heck, I can admire it now. If it's got swirl marks, I can't admire. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be anything. It could be a Lambo, Ferrari. And it would zap any. I can't appreciate it unless it's from details. This is a big detail, but I can only appreciate a detailed car. Otherwise, it ruins it. It ruins the moment. But that's why I do what I do. In fact, saying that, I appreciate the focus. But that's only because it's mine. Because I've worked so hard for it.
Well, that's it. It's the hours you put in, it's your own pride and joy, and you can see the fruits of your labour to a standard that you hold yourself to.
I haven't even given it a proper wash yet. I've given it a snow foam wash and then detail spray, that's it. I've done that once. It hasn't had a wash mitt or anything. It's rotten. It hasn't been detailed in 9 years. It's a state. You get it under these lights and it's swirled like mad. You can see that it's been polished a few times because it's got nice bits of polished residue here, there and everywhere. Beads a little bit, does bead a little bit when I washed it for the first time, but ceramic, wet sour, it's going to look absolutely impeccable.
I can't wait to see it, Joe, when it's done.
Jeez, concourse at some point.
Right, I'll just have to look, Joe, back in a minute.
No.
Been polishing, Joe?
You, I guess, use machine polish and then you do your protection stuff, your final dressings and products. So obviously you've got Karud waxes, paint sealants, ceramic coatings, paintwork wise. Depends how mad you want to go. Paint correction, well, you can do paint correction mobile. But to do ceramic coatings, you need somewhere indoors. Either indoors or something like a gazebo. Gazebo is good. Bridges the gap between unit-based and mobile. Allows you to do the stuff. It's just, do you want to leave your gazebo up? Because when you put these ceramic coatings on, they need 12 hours for them to fully cure before they're allowed to get wet. If they get wet within those 12 hours, then there's a good chance that the water is going to leave marks in the coating, and that's going to dry into the coating, and you're going to have a spotty car. There's not really, obviously that's not professional. And for the time that it takes to do all of this process and then finish it, you need it somewhere either indoors or a carport. My parents have a carport, so I was lucky enough to be able to utilise that for the first couple. Then got the gazebo, did a couple of cars under the gazebo, but to do ceramic cones you need somewhere indoors. There's no two ways about it. And even people that want ceramic cones done, they'll be going to the unit-based guys. So in terms of mobile work, I'd say a single stage, the decontamination that we've just done, a single stage machine polish, followed with either putting a paint sealant on there or a Karud wax. is going to be good. There's a market for people that want that doing. Car cleaning guru from your way, that's his most in-depth service, is single stage enhancement and conical wax.
Yeah.
That's all that he does.
Yeah. And you know, when it comes to your interior, Joe,
Yeah.
do you just essentially use your George there, Matt's house, etc., cleaning the carpets and the mats? Yeah.
Yeah, George. George is a wet and dry vacuum.
I just picked one up from Margot's on there, yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. Yeah, they're very good, wet and dry.
Do you use a shampoo and that at all, Joe?
What, the shampoo that comes with it?
Because I've literally got it in the box. I haven't even, as I say, used the shampoo.
Oh, okay. It comes with, it comes with a bottle of detergent.
Yeah.
But in fact, it will sell quite well on eBay. Yeah, it will sell well on eBay.